You know, when your life is so perfect, you won't really need faith like that.
Up next is a book about the fascinating story of a young lady in her 20s who surprisingly suffered a deadly stroke that almost took her life.
My right body was gone. My leg was shrinking so bad, my hand too. I couldn't talk, I couldn't move.
I couldn't remember my name. I couldn't remember anybody, including my mom. When they were carrying me into the car, I heard a small, still voice. The small, still voice said, "I will be okay. I will come out of this even stronger." I listened to the voice. You know when they say that God will strip you until you need Him. I think that was what happened to me. Now I need Him so much. I can't do anything without God.
Who is Jesus to you?
My everything. Hi, my name is Emonina Abinabi Akwa, but you can call me Queen Anna. I am a lawyer, an author, a speaker, a CHD survivor, and a stroke survivor. I'm from Delta State, Nigeria. I grew up in Wari. I grew up with my uncle and auntie because I was living in my father's house for a while before my mom bundled me up and sent me to my uncle's house in the same town, actually. I really don't know why, because I asked my mom when I was really older and she says, "I don't know." It was a fantastic childhood. Like, I literally had like the best childhood. My uncle, or I would like to call him like my dad right now. Every Sunday, he would take me and my younger sister, my cousin, right, to this big supermarket, Esco, every Sunday. And he'll give us 5,000. I'll always buy Archie's Comics and Veronica and Betty and a pencil case. Then after that, we would take us to, there was one house in Bendel Estate. They sell Supreme ice cream. You always buy the biggest for us. And it was, anytime I, remember, I always smile. It was very big, and we would lick it until next week Sunday. Sometimes we'll finish it about like the third day, it's finished. So yeah, my childhood was really, really nice. I'm the only child of my mom. Yeah, I have half siblings.
You had a better childhood compared to your half siblings?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Honestly, yes. I was from a polygamous home. Yes, everybody there is chilled and good, but is polygamy. Do you understand? I swear the best thing that my mom did for me was sending me there. No disrespect to my family, right? But growing up in a one man, one wife family is nice. They abused me in my family house. Yeah, I remember. One was my dad's worker, and another one was my stepmother's brother. They didn't have sex with me, right? But they abused me, they touched me, kissed, and I was little. what do I know? When I was experiencing the abuse, right, I was always talking to myself and saying that I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave. So I think that God heard and, had my mom vacate me from that house too. I enjoyed living with my mom. My mom spoilt me because I was an only child. She used to buy the latest dolls, and I was not a doll fan. She used to buy things, cars, toy cars, clothes.
Were you exposed to faith growing up?
No, I don't think I had faith. I just, normal religion. I just followed my guardian's footstep. Okay, this is the church. Then when I was growing up, it was Catholic for my mom. And when I moved to my guardian's house, it was Sele for them. When I was in school, I went to Redeem. Then there was one church that they call Quiffy. I went there, but I graduated with Catholic church. So I was kind of, getting a little faith. When your life is so perfect, right? And you won't really need faith like that. You won't, because whatever you need, your parents are there to, provide. So I really didn't need like a lot of faith. When they say that preacher said that God will strip you until you need him. I think that was what happened to me. Now I need him so much. Oh my God. I can't do anything without God. I came to Lagos to serve. My mom was in worry. She was struggling. I got a job, then I fell into depression. It was a restaurant. They'll give me a list after the day, the list of what they need the next day. So it was my job to go to my boss's house, take some things, it was always in America. So I had a key, take all the things, then back to the store. I was always crying. I would stop the car and cry. I didn't know what was missing. One day, I followed my cousins to House on the Rock. I think World Conference. Bill Winton was preaching, right? And it got to a time where I couldn't hear anybody. It was as if God just zoned me and put me in a separate place.
The first step to increase is the Word of God. And you got to get the Word of God.
And the preacher was preaching and said that everything that you have now, since birth till now, God has been taking care of it. And I heard that and I started crying. It was what I was looking for. It was just as if it was God that was talking to me at that time, at that second. Like, it was God, because I really can't remember anything about that preaching. Just that thing that God used to talk to me. And that was the moment. I remember the seat. I was sitting upstairs and, I heard it, I cried. And that was the beginning of my wonderful, wonderful journey.
If I was to ask you to sort of like describe life before that service.
Dark, depressed. I didn't like myself. I was always crying. Even during my work time, I'll sit down and just be staring. It was hard.
See, if he'll do it for me, and he's no respecter of persons, what he did for Bill Winston, what he did for your pastor, he will do it for you.
There's something you mentioned when you were introducing yourself, right? And that is you being a stroke survivor. Can you tell us that story?
Well, it happened in 2015. I came to Lagos November November 2014. The stroke happened November 2015. Before then, I was sick. I had anemia. I had like all sort of things. So I went to the hospital. I took like a lot of injections. Then they told me I had deep vein thrombosis. The first hospital, they didn't even know Jack, honestly, because when I had a stroke, they just dumped me in a bed upstairs and didn't even bother checking on me. The first day that I took warfarin for the deep vein thrombosis, that was the day that I had a stroke. I remember like yesterday. I remember how they carried me to the car and drove me out to that same hospital. When they were carrying me into the car, I heard a small, still voice, and the small, still voice said, "I will be okay. I will come out of this even stronger." I listened to the voice. It took me almost 24 hours and 5 hospitals before I could get proper medical attention. Now, the first hospital, they didn't know what was wrong with me, so I slept over. I almost died. They took me to the hospital, they dumped me, they didn't know what was wrong. The next day, my cousins came, took me out of the hospital, 2 other hospitals, which they rejected me anyway. Then they took me to another hospital. They did like CT scan and referred us to the last hospital. And that was where I got my treatment. So there's this thing about stroke survivors. So if you don't get your medical, like proper medical attention within 4.5 hours, you might die or permanent disability. I was unconscious for like 3 days or something. Then I woke up. I couldn't move my right body. I was looking at it. I couldn't move it. I couldn't remember my name. I couldn't remember anybody, including my mom. I was just a vegetable. That's how I like to, describe myself. Then I started recovering. Still listen to the voice. Before I knew it, I could speak in 2 syllables, 3 syllables. I could say a sentence. I remember I was struggling to walk. I couldn't walk. It was tough. It was really, really tough.
Have you started?
Yeah.
And 3 years after, my mom died. Died of chronic kidney disease. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. So she died of chronic kidney disease. She struggled. I struggled too. I was just recovering. I came to Warri from Lagos and I don't need tissue. It's okay. I don't cry for long. And I was always taking her to the hospital for dialysis. And I remember the day that my mom said, she was looking like, I paid for VIP room in General Hospital in Warri. And she was looking out and she said, Anna, if you carry this load. I was like, no, how, for what? Why would you say that? No, we'll do the dialysis no matter what. She laughed and said, I can't take it. From that day, she was practically like, she was depreciating. She just gave up. And I remember when, I had to travel back to Lagos and she was depreciating so bad. I remember when they called me at the last day on earth. She couldn't see, she couldn't talk, she couldn't recognize anybody. She was just, when you look at her eyes, it's as if she's dead, but she's still fighting. She was fighting for me. She was worried. Who'll take care of Anna, my only eye? Who'll take care of her? She just had a stroke 3 years after. Then I spoke to her on that last day on the phone, and she wasn't looking like my mom, my bubbly mom. She couldn't understand anything, but when she heard my voice, her eyes lit up. She couldn't talk. She was just like this, like, huh? I remember her eyes like literally lit up, and I told her that, Mommy, you can go and rest. God will take care of me, okay? And minutes after the call, she gave up. So that was it. I started, recovering. And, when she died, it was as if I gained an angel. I remember it was 2018. So I launched my first book in 2019 in February. And things started, going so smoothly.
Looking beyond challenges and overcoming obstacles in life gave birth to the new book titled I Almost Died. The author Emunena Abenabe suffered a stroke amidst other challenges in life, but she pushed beyond the situation and wrote a book to encourage others.
I had media rounds. I barely paid for anything.
Up next is a book about the fascinating story of a young lady in her 20s who surprisingly suffered a deadly stroke that almost took her life. The book is titled I Almost Died. Its author, Emunena Abenabe, joined us to discuss the book and her difficult health experience. Tell me about that 23 stroke.
My right body was gone. My leg was shrinking so bad, my hand too. I couldn't talk, I couldn't move.
I had my book on, all this, media houses. And, whatever I say, whatever I need, and I just say it, oh, Zaddy, immediately, the angels get to work and I get it. It was as if my mom went to heaven, especially because of me. So I still limp a little. My right hand is still, I can't still operate my fingers. right? But I think if you see me outside, you won't even know that that girl had a stroke until I tell you, right? Or I'm really, really tired and I walk, then you know that something is wrong with this girl because she's tired. Then good things started happening to me till date. When I say good things, I mean good things. God is my sugar daddy. That's who God is to me. You know, in the Bible, when I think it was Moses, right? When God was talking to Moses and he says that, tell the people that I am. So I chose sugar zaddy, right? My zaddy in heaven. That's what I call him. God has been so faithful to me, I swear. In fact, I don't even have to pray. When I just look, I'm like, I need something. I really need something. I don't pray about it, but I know that in my mind that if I could, get this thing, I will be happy. It's like angels just pick up and start working. I remember when I got my car, the period when I got my car. That morning, I walked out of my house, right? And I walked to a part of the road and I said, this is where I will park my car, my red car. In fact, I did like a little drama, right? And I went to church. The day before, my cousin called me and said, you, I don't even see you, come to my house, come and see me. I said, okay, I'll come. In fact, I said that, and this week I gave an excuse. Said, come on, come here. I said, okay, I'll come, all right? So after the drama, I went to church. Then I went to his house. His friends were like there gisting with him and everything. I can't really remember what brought car. His friend said, this your cousin can buy you a car. I was now laughing. Of course I was laughing. Who would have thought? God. After some time, in that gist that, oh, your cousin can buy you a car, my cousin just gave me 5 million. I was sitting down. I was shocked. In fact, it didn't even stop there. He was calling his friends. Oh yeah, give my sister money. Give my sister. I think I left that house with like 7 points or something. I don't know. But I really, really don't know how God did it. But he gave me money. I bought a car, paid for my health insurance. I was like, oh, if I share my testimonies till now, hey God, oh my God, it's God. Let me share another testimony, right? So there's this leadership program. It's called Mandela Washington Fellowship. I applied 2 years ago. I didn't get it. So I decided to do more to make me valuable. So when you're reading it, they would find a reason why. So that was it. And I applied again in June. Then I forgot about it. Now in November, I got a call. In fact, I was on my way to Benin. I got a call as I was going to the airport, and they said that you're the only person that has not confirmed their attendance for Mandela. Which I mean, like, Mandela what? Like, huh? Okay, this is happening. So I pushed my flight. So 2 days after, I went back home. Then next day, I went for the interview. To God, I messed up. Honestly, I wasn't giving, the giving that they were expecting. I wasn't giving. End of the interview, when one of them said, "Oh, she has been on what's it called, TVC. Oh, she has been on channels." Then yes, I said yes. They checked YouTube, and one said that when you are coming for anything, a grant or interview and everything, make sure you put the things that you have done, first before, because the document and you is totally different. I was almost crying because I would literally do better on my own. But because, oh my God, it was too, America, oh my God, really? So I didn't really do well. I went back to my car and I told God that it's in your hands. It's literally in your hands, because if you ask me, I didn't do anything. I was just talking. And in February, they called me and said, you got in. I'm like, I shouted, like, what? That's a leadership program for 6 weeks in America, all expense paid by the US government. I'm like, hey, God, is this really happening? So God has been faithful. Now I'm going international. Now I'm on one TV program or another, all because God loves me. My Zaddy in heaven loves me. I met my husband 2 years ago. May 6th and 8th is my,
Anniversary?
yes, my anniversary. I met my husband in less than a year. He said, okay, he wants to get married to me. So just like that, I went to my people and said, oh, a man wants to marry me. And they were so excited. I don't know why.
I'll tell you to go. So carry your wahala and go.
No, but that's it. I never gave anyone wahala. I was always working. I'm in Lagos, so they don't even hear about me and everything, right? I think they were happy and surprised that, oh, who's gonna marry her? But I'm a spec, oh, hey, I'm a full spec and more.
What would you say was your motivation through your most trying times of the story?
The voice. Like, if you recall, I said the moment I had a stroke, I heard a little still voice, and it was saying that I would be okay. Then the Bible, I read the Bible a lot. There's one that says that He would cover me. So when I think about that, who is the person that wants to discourage me? I don't understand. Who are you? Are you greater than my Zaddy in heaven? Is it the one that He said that, nations would be lining up to please me? Me. I'm God's baby, Zaddy's baby.
I was going to ask what your relationship looks like with Jesus today, but you already said you're giving me.
We're close. We're close. We're close. Let me tell you, even my husband knows that. Like, Ena Zaddy, my friends, some of my friends say, Ena Zaddy, I need this. Yeah. It's because, like, when I tell my friends that, oh, I want to do this, Ruki, my best friend Ruki and Benita, they will say that, go ahead now. Especially Ruki. Ruki said, what be you? Zaddy's baby. And it always happens. When I was launching this book, when I had the idea for the book, and I told her, go ahead now, you know Zaddy's baby. So, like, the relationship between I and God is different. I don't do 7 days prayer and fasting. And I can't even remember the last time that I fasted, and I get all these wonderful things happening to me. Let me slip this in. I was born with congenital heart defects, like a small hole in the heart. So my mom didn't know, and I was growing up so perfectly. I was always jumping and everything. At 6 months, I was crawling. So there was no sign. At 23, I had an infection that caused the stroke. So when the infection ruptured, it sent another blood clot to my brain. So in the middle of the blood clots coming into my brain, it damaged one valve in my heart. right? That means that I was left with leaky heart valve, right? So it's simple. When a normal human being breathes, the heart cage opens totally, closes totally. But when I breathe, it opens completely, but doesn't close completely, right? And it leaves a little spot for blood. And I have that. And on God, I don't even have any symptoms. I'm the ambassador for Access Heart Foundation, right? Who knew that having something in health, right, could qualify you? I'm telling you, it's just so crazy. So what they were looking for was a stroke survivor. But they now found out that, oh boy, this girl has all the things that I swear, because the goal for the foundation is to raise money for heart surgeries for 1,000 children and adults in the north, right? And they were looking for, well, stroke survivor, right? But they now found somebody with, the heart, blah. So some children, they have the same thing that I have, but some of them will not even survive till end of this year if nothing is done. And Anna, I grew up with it. Come on, tell me God is not good. Tell me he's not my zaddy. I'm like, oh yeah. When I think about the good things that he has done for me, oh God, cry again. And I said I will not cry. So yes. Oh my God, I never cry. I never. Go away. Is that all? What's the last question?
Who is Jesus to you?
My everything.
Greetings and thank you so much for watching that video. My name is Eric Fireman and I wanted to use this opportunity to share our mission here at Triple T. So we're on a mission of documenting 1 million testimonies. So if you feel prompted or led to share a testimony with us, please reach out to us by filling the form with the link attached to this video somewhere in the description or in the bio, depending on where you're seeing this. And somebody from the team will be in contact with you to shoot your testimonies. If you also have been touched by watching this video, please leave a comment or share this video with a close friend or a family member, and just make sure that you spread this impact in some way. Thank you so much once again, and God bless you.